Yo, it's D.Arthur in the building. I'm talking to you guys today about why females will expose themselves when you go on semen retention slash nofap. Women in general will expose themselves to you when you're on, when you go on nofap, when you go on semen retention. And before anybody says anything about anything, people are going to decipher what I just said and start thinking, oh, there's no way they're going to expose themselves when you go on semen retention or nofap, or vice versa. What I'm trying to say is, based off who you're becoming subconsciously because you've been on semen retention slash nofap, this is why they will expose themselves to you. Because we have people who do not know how to critically analyze anything, who don't know how to deeply iterate anything, who don't know how to read between the lines, take everything word for word verbatim, and this is why they lack in life. They claim they're smart, they claim they're intelligent, but if you don't have the mental intelligence to stick with me and actually understand what I'm saying on a deep level, then you can't say anything, because semen retention is deeper than anything that you realize. No fap is deeper than anything you have realized. You guys are too shallow. Too shallow. I can't believe how shallow your fellow man thinks. No wonder they lack with no wonder they're lacking in every single aspect of their life. They're just lacking because they're so shallow minded. They are so shallow minded. They hear one thing, they think one thing, and then they can't think of anything else because of that one thing. This is how your fellow man thinks. This is why your fellow man is lacking with women. This is why your fellow man is lacking in business. This is your fellow man can't sell anything for their life because they're so shallow minded. They're shallow minded. Women will expose themselves to you when you go on semen retention. Let me finish. Because of how you're acting, based off who you're becoming. This is all subconscious. There is psychological differences to a man when he decides to go on nofap slash semen retention, when he decides to not ejaculate via himself. When he decides to do this, when he decides to withstand ejaculation for an extended period of time, this is a completely different man. This is more, it could come across as a man who's more alpha, who tolerates less, who's more ambitious, who's more in his masculine. And this is why they will expose themselves to you. They will expose themselves to you. And before I continue, I would just like to say that this channel, if you've been with me from the very start, this channel has gone, it's been since my first video posted, which has been 4 years. It's been 4 years in the making of this channel. And if you've been with me since the early days where I was making all these videos in my car, then you are a real one, and shout out to you. And if you've been with me since the beginning days, if you realized how far I've come from videos that I made from the very start to where I am now, then just comment. I just want to know who's still with me for these last 3-4 years, because it has been a while. There are still many goals and there are so many things to do, but I just want to single out the people who actually know this brand and have been with me since the beginning, or at least the early stages. Because if you're still here, if you're still watching this content, then shout out to you. I would like to notify you. I want to notarize you. I want to select you. I want to speak to you, because anybody who's still with me, who's still asking me throughout these whole times, since my first video posted in like 2019, which has been 4 years in the making, shout out to you. You deserve all the praise. You're a real one, and I F with y'all. So if you have, at least just comment something in the description if you know me since the very beginning. But shout out to you, because that's some real stuff. With that being said, Women will expose themselves to you when you go on semen retention based off how you're acting. They start. What I realize is that women start projecting themselves, start really talking about how they really feel when they feel comfortable enough for themselves to do that. If you're asking, and this can, if you're realizing you're asking why she's not really opening herself up to you, she may not be as comfortable enough for you, enough to you. She probably isn't as comfortable as you think she is in order for her to do this. But when you become ascended, when you become more masculine, when you're more authentic, when you're more in your just normal state of being a very deliberate and maybe even an iconic individual based off just how you're acting, your indifference, your focus, how much you tolerate and everything, they will expose themselves to you. They expose themselves to you. If she's not exposing herself to you, if she's acting indifferent, if she's acting standoffish, if she's just acting not as she doesn't want to open herself up to you, then there's something that you've done that she's not comfortable with. Because people will become more comfortable with them, so with you around them, if you are authentic, if you are becoming your most authentic version, or if they feel like they can be authentic around you. And the way you do this is by becoming masculine, having masculine energy, being very masculine. This holds a lot more weight because now she's more interested in who you are mostly instead of what you have. She can be attracted to what you have, but if you want her to be more involved in you, in the internal workings of who you are as a man, core attraction, also known as core attraction, then you just have to be you have to come across as more masculine. You have to come across as more authentic. You have to come across as someone who she can really speak to, who she can speak her heart out to. Now, this doesn't mean that you're some sort of pillow buddy talk person. I'm talking about like she's comfortable enough to be vulnerable and authentic around you, and you are authentic, and you're also very authentic with her as well too. You're very authentic, and this comes from working on yourself. This comes from doing things that you can do to make yourself just more of an authentic, attractive person. I can see the difference. I've seen the difference easily. There was a girl back in the past who you could say that I might have even been chasing, and now looking back on it, I start to realize, if I would have done things a little bit different, things might be different right now. But I'm not so swept on it. I'm not so attached to it. It's just more of a learning experience. This is the difference between the winners and the losers in your life. The people who lose are always looking at all the L's they've taken and then dwelling on it and just not learning from it and just making it as take it to heart as possible. This is what your fellow loser does. They don't learn from their mistakes. Your winner looks at everything from an objective perspective and asks themselves, what could this be teaching me? How could I learn from this? And this is how they win. So she will start exposing herself to you. They start exposing themselves to you when they see someone worth exposing themselves to, by being, like I said, by being masculine, by being attractive, by going there, by giving her. She has to see your attention as a drug. You have to be very present when you're talking to her, and you have to be very intentional with some of the things that you say. Realize that every conversation that you have with her puts points in your bucket, and it takes points out of your bucket. This is how you have to think. You have to be very, very. You might have to be intentional. She'll expose herself to you. She will expose herself to you when she sees you as that guy. She's not exposing herself to you because she doesn't see you as that guy. And how do you become that guy? You become that guy by becoming your best version, by being authentic, by being You might have to carry yourself as soulless around her, as emotionally unavailable, as you might even have to come across as cutthroat. You just have to come across as someone who has masculine indifference. As I've learned the word masculine indifference, you have to become someone who comes across as masculine indifferent. This is a win-win for you, because now if things don't go your way, her way, the things that you want, the way that you want it to be, you're okay with it. You have to be masculine indifferent, and she will start exposing herself to you. Notice how it's going to be a lot easier for her to express herself around you when you become someone she can express herself to, by being, like I said, by you being masculine, authentic, and very, very just a maybe a relaxed guy, where she can become relaxed around you, where she can become relaxed around you. This is how you have to come across. And you do this by working on yourself, working on your social skills, working on all of these skills that you can acquire by being true to yourself and as authentic as possible, as being present as humanly possible. And she will start doing this to you because she feels that you are someone that she needs to do this. People expose themselves how they really feel when it's worth doing it, when they feel as if they can do this around a specific person without even being maybe even judged. This is how you may have to come across. So the more you work on yourself by going on retention, doing these good habits, no fat, she's going to become more authentic around you, and things are going to go well for you. Things are going to go better for you. If you keep fapping, you're not going to be as masculine, and she's going to feel as if she can't really express herself that much because you're not comfortable with yourself. You have to be comfortable with yourself, very comfortable with yourself, so other people can be comfortable around you as well. And you do this by self-improving as a man, so you can return to your core competence of being true to yourself. And now since you're giving off this energy and aura, people are going to act exactly how they think it's okay to act around you. If that makes sense. If you have questions, comment down in the comments. But yeah, she will expose herself around you. If she's acting, you might notice she might be acting shy, and take it for what you want. But if a girl is acting as if like she's super shy, and she might be shy around you, this might be an indication that she likes you. Other girls I've come across, they are more bold. Some girls are bold. You have to watch out for that as well too. But other girls are a little bit more shy. Other girls aren't. Some guys think that because it just goes how long she does this. If she keeps doing this and she's like ignoring you and stuff, then you might need to cut it off. But if it's just a small indication, or it's hard for her to meet eye contact with you or anything like that, she just might be shy to speak to you. She might find you as an attractive person. So the bottom line is, she starts exposing herself around you when she sees you as that guy. If she sees you as an attractive person, and as a guy she wants to be with, maybe, then she might start exposing herself to you. She might really start telling you the truth. And this is what you want to hear. So continue with this. If you have comments, like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.